Hebu nisikia sauti ya uzito tuseme tuko. Hakuna. Then we are not there. We are so excited to see each and everybody of you. As more mishap happened, and that is what the team is trying to sort out. We do believe that it will be sorted out shortly and will be running across. We have not still taken the statistics, so you don't know how many of us are represented here. But this is mainly the MOE TVET. I think almost 99% is MOE TVET. And it is always our joy and excitement to be able to meet you at least once every 2 years. Remember, we are serving other sectors also, the university sector. So this year we do university, the next year we do TVET. And like that, that is how we alternate. We think it's the most efficient way to be able to engage with you, being our stakeholders and our customers that we continue to serve on a daily basis. That's the most optimal way we can be able to serve you. Mumefurahia hiyo ama tujaribu tutengeneze vizuri zaidi? I think because of the failover which is outside there, people maybe are still hoping that there's something you can be able to do later today of making it regional. Of course, it's more expensive because, again, getting speakers into the regions, that also becomes another issue, but it's also another way we can be able to solve the growing number of the TVET colleges. I do know the peers requesting that the administrators, students, leaders from more than 9 regions need to be here. Unfortunately, we are not factored in that in terms of space, and that is what we are trying to balance out and be able to sort out. Maybe during the course of the day, we'll be able to see how that will be sorted out. But once again, let me say we are excited to meet you guys, after almost 2 years. We have kind of turned the program upside down, where the main presentations from our main presenters will be happening tomorrow, and we start with our normal day 2 today. Our normal day 2 is to listen to what you have to say and hear where we can be able to solve some of the challenges that you continue to have within your various TVET institutions. Exchange ideas also with us in terms of what we are experiencing from the center, in terms of funding, and what else can we be able to do. For example, there's a huge now issue of, under the new funding model, there's a big challenge on the walk-in students who are not necessarily placed by COOPs, but they walk in and then they are validated again. And that has continued to give us a bit of a challenge, including, of course, the delay in terms of funding. And that's why you've seen that the system is still open when we should have actually closed, because we are planning for the next year's budget. But because of those challenges, then we have decided we can have the system open for a while. And we know there are solutions that you have on how we can become better in regard to how do we manage that much better. So please don't hold back on your views as and when we start looking for the views from you, because that helps us in terms of how do we shape our agenda and how do we improve ourselves in regard to rolling out this program. So I want to welcome each and everybody of you. We will be expecting the peers later. There is a function they're still tackling in Nairobi. So maybe later they will be able to join us, but maybe much later in the evening. As you heard, the result for TVET CDAC that were done almost 2 years ago will be released to them by the CS, and I think they're engaged on that basis. And also there is a meeting with the Parliament in regard to the budget policy statement, and also how you'll be supported financially into next year, and how we have used the money that they have supported us for this year. So we still expect them. If they don't, then tomorrow, definitely, we should be having them around. The other invited guests, of course, definitely will be here, including the sponsors and we'll be meeting them in person later on in the day. So I want to welcome everybody, and you feel most welcome and ready to be served by HELB, which continues to serve you. Now, having completed that session then, allow me to do something that is now a requirement of government in terms of rolling out strategic plans. For some of you who are with you the last 2 years or so, you know HELB has been rolling out what you would call HELB Agenda 2019-2023, which came to an end last year. And we have been now putting together what we are calling the HELB Plan 2024-2028. The requirement of State Department of Planning within the National Treasury requires that has to be exposed to your stakeholders. And you are our key stakeholders. So I'll take the next maybe 30 minutes or so just to expose to you exactly what you are thinking in terms of this strategic plan that we have put in place. And please send your inputs, and I'll be giving some contact later on where we think we need to improve. Yesterday we met the non-MOE TVET, but within the public sector. And one of the key things they were, kind of alerting to us is they are not represented well within our education loans board, and that is why they don't get any kind of financing. So that's a comment we received from them. And of course, definitely we are doing something in that regard. So what we'll be looking at from you is to look at, in this plan that we are giving you or exposing to you, what are the key, and if you can send us that feedback before we wrap it up, then I think we'd really appreciate, and I'll be leaving back the contact of how you can be able to send it. Now, the HELB plan is, we have actually christened it, as I said, remember the other one was called the HELB Agenda 2019-2023. This one now is the HELB Plan 2024-2028. And we hope during the MTP period, if you are aware about government planning, it will be operating within this MTP4 period, which is also ending in 2027-2028. Now, this stakeholder engagement looks at how do we get feedback from you in regard to what we have actually put in place. And that is why you can see our stakeholders then are listed there. And those are the ones we are going to get through to. Now, the riding clarion call on this plan is a new funding model. And that is why you can see up there, we are talking about the new funding model, or NFM, which has already been rolled out now. Because so far, we'll be looking at some of the numbers of how many we have been able to fund under the new funding model. The main thing is financial sustainability, and I'll be presenting some of the numbers that we are seeing. And you can also help us with your thought process on how do we raise that kind of money that is required to be able to support